Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle, and Chelle's not here right now. We're hoping she can join us. She's not feeling very well right now, but we decided that it would be best that we would continue on, and hopefully she'll be able to join us in a little bit. So I'm kind of lost here because I don't have my little person to banter with. Bruce, did you want to banter makeup with me? You're muted.
Sure, I can banter makeup.
Okay, so
I think I've gotten what Nivea, is that a cream?
yeah.
Of course, I'm jumping the gun by like an hour, but
yeah. So what I was going to talk to Michelle about today is that I got this makeup kit from my daughter for Mother's Day, and it's driving her crazy that I'm using this lash stuff to hold the wispies of my hair. So I'm not using it for my eyelashes. I'm using this blush as lip color, and then I'm using the blush as eyeshadow. And I don't think Michelle would find a problem with that. Do you?
no.
Do you have a problem with that?
Well, the idea is if you look at the label, I guess those are recommendations of what they're used for, and not necessarily. So basically, if it says shampoo, you could use it to wash your car, right?
Right, or a dog.
Or your dog. Well, whether it's hair and mane, I know
Okay, that would be considered shampoo. Okay.
Yeah, so hair. There's hair and mane, which you can wash your horse or wash your own hair.
Right. Okay. Well, that's pretty much what I was going to banter about today. So I guess we will talk about our sponsors, Blue Sky Video Productions, which is you. Bruce, is there anything you would like to talk about since you're like here live with us right now and not hiding?
So actually, I had the occasion of I put myself back here. I had the occasion of talking to our local or our district Toastmasters last week about hybrid meetings.
Oh, nice.
And because now that a lot of these clubs have been meeting virtually, they're now coming back to meet in person. But they've gotten some of their other members have come in from across the nation, and it's sometimes even across the world, who can no longer travel directly to their spot. So they've actually opened up their club to an international audience. And how are they going to retain that international audience if they just go back to in-person meetings?
Right.
So they brought me in to give a webinar on virtual meetings.
Very cool.
And I kept it very simple. There are only 4 things you need to connect a hybrid meeting, and that is 2 cameras, and that can be either a laptop or a phone.
Okay.
A speaker, something like this, so that your audience can hear the people online, and a microphone so that your people online can hear your audience.
Break.
Yep, and that's all you need to start your hybrid meeting.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
So Bruce, an hour speech into 15 seconds.
Nice.
True Toastmaster style.
Nice. So thank you for being, this is our last show of the season. So thank you for all your help throughout this season. And Blue Sky Video Productions is where you find him. And he is the master of doing all this.
And the playbook list link like there is your free guide to getting started with either live streaming or hybrid meetings.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then next we have Goodwin Graphics, cottonfeelsgood.com. He is our t-shirt maker and mug maker. We got to love our new Candidly Speaking mugs. Call Ronnie Goodwin. He even does a bunch of promotional things, and he's an amazing man. So definitely go to cottonfeelsgood.com and check out all this stuff. And then there's me, Cards That Wow. I create wow moments for people and brands, and I do this by making handmade note cards that you can handwrite notes with your brand, and it's a lot of fun, and it gets you a lot of attention. So we have a Facebook. I forgot to look at the comments. Now, this is the part that Michelle usually does. Don't forget to subscribe and share. If you are watching, please let us know where you're watching from so we can give you a little shout out and say hi to you. And if you're watching this on the replay, please let us know that you've watched it on the replay, and we'll be excited. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there because we definitely need help with subscription numbers. We need lots of help, so please subscribe. So today I am really excited about our guest because I have been stalking her for the last year on TikTok, and I finally got like a message through Instagram because TikTok wouldn't let me message her because I'm not a friend. But now I feel like I can talk to her and she actually gets back to me. So it's really cool. And she has a 175-pound tortoise, and she posts videos about life in the day of Tiptoe, her 175-pound tortoise. And I love watching them every day. And then she also has another side to her life where she has a master's where she helps with autism. She works with autistic type children. So that's really cool. And we're going to talk about that today. So joining me live from Marina Del Rey, help me welcome Caitlin Doran. There's no sound.
I absolutely love the little Tiptoe intro video. That's perfect.
I love it that you're taking him for a walk.
Yeah, every day, get his legs out, get him stretching, get him in the sun. Part of our daily to-do list.
I love it. So thank you so much for joining us and letting me stalk you over the past year and and just basically enjoy Tiptoe. I mean, he looks like so much fun. Now, you've had him like your whole life, right?
So yeah, I got Tiptoe when I was 7 years old. I had put him at the top of my Christmas list from Santa, and we didn't know that much about tortoises, or Santa didn't know that much about tortoises. So we were very surprised to find out that Tiptoe would be a lifelong friend, but Santa just knew to get that number one.
So they live, like, don't you have to like have somebody to pass it along to, because they live way longer than we do, right?
80 to 120 years is their estimated life length, which is insane. So yes, he will go to my one-day children, and it's just going to be like a family pet. He'll be with us forever.
And so the thing that caught my attention with you is that you're so creative with the way you feed him. Like, you act like you're really making him a hamburger, and you go to all the extent of describing the different fruits, but this is a Tiptoe hamburger, and you're so artful about that. And I think that's so cool.
Oh, thank you. I definitely, throughout like making the videos, my mom, I do a lot of things with my mom as well. She'll help me out. We just found ourselves having so much more fun with it when we like made the most extravagant meal, because typically he still eats like those vegetables throughout the day, whether it be like tomatoes, lettuce, zucchini. But if we can make it something that's like an activity for us too, to like connect and bond over. And then I feel like Tiptoe enjoys it more when all the colors are like mixed together, but just makes it something fun for us to do too.
Well, they're so artful. I mean, it is an art to make TikToks. I mean, I stink at it. I muddle through and do what I have to do just to, to try to be out there. But I mean, you have so much creativity in yours. So how did you get started? I mean, when did you decide I am going to put Tiptoe on TikTok and we're going to become phenoms?
So prior to doing stuff on TikTok, I worked at my like real big girl job, but I quit my job, or I like was taking some time off to study for my exam 2 days before the pandemic started.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit of a transition phase. Things kind of slowed down. There was no like definite on when I was going to return to work because everything was kind of up in the air. So throughout that process, I spent quite a bit of time on TikTok scrolling through videos, and I saw so many people posting videos about like what I make for my kids for lunch, or this is what I'm doing for my husband's dinner. And I don't have kids and I don't have a husband, but I was like, you know what? I have a tortoise. And I thought it would be something so fun to record and like send to my friends as just like a, look, I can do it too. And it seems to be just a lot of people are not familiar with tortoises. So I think
I've learned a lot from you. I didn't know, like you said, that when you touch their shell, it's like hair. It's
exactly how you would feel if you were touching your fingernail. Right. So he feels everything on his shell. It's filled with all of the nerves. So it's super fun because you can like be tapping on it. He'll like look back at you, and he loves any sort of attention as well. So anytime you're touching him, he is a happy, happy boy.
And then he does this little butt shake.
Oh, yes. Especially when it starts to get warmer. I don't know what it is, but he is like looking for us to be scratching his butt. He loves to just.
So you had a little bit of a scare with him. What was that, a couple months ago? And I mean, what happened? Like just all of a sudden he just started getting lethargic, or
we went through a period of like rainy season here in like November towards the end. And Tiptoe, because he's a desert tortoise, he's used to it being very dry, but underneath his house also water can collect and just kind of in that area. So we think that that's something that like just the weather and conditions got him to have a respiratory infection, which is like for a tortoise, that's not the biggest of deals, but it just, since they metabolize things so slowly, it's such a slow process that once you like notice it, like we took Tiptoe to the vet the first day that I noticed that he had a cough, and still because they're so slow, it takes like 2 months to recover from something so minor. So we got very, very lucky that we were able to just get him into a vet, because that was the second time we've ever taken him to the vet. Wow. Like in our lives. So it was definitely an experience, but it was super cool to see how helpful all of the vets were, because we went to 2 separate vet locations, but everybody was so helpful. And I learned so much from that experience that was just able to kind of like figure out how to fix Tiptoe and how to like help other people when they have these issues, because veterinary care is also like for a tortoise is so random.
I'm like, and it's not like a dog where you can say, come on, get in the car. I mean, it was a project to get him into that carrier. Everyone's seen the gurney, and I'm like, gosh, what a production!
When they brought the gurney out, my mom and I were like, are you like? I didn't know that that's what they would do, but they came out like 4 people, gurney, everything, and we were just like, of course, Tiptoe's gonna have a gurney to go in, like, of course.
Well, and I think, and everybody was like on their, like at the edge of their seat. They're like, oh my God, what's wrong with Tiptoe? I mean, did you expect that kind of a response once you?
I did not. I was like just blown away with the support that people gave for a tortoise. It was so cool to see, like, just see how much Tiptoe means to people, to be able to like have that full circle moment of like, dang, like Tiptoe really, like, he does a lot. Like, he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
But I always describe him as like a potato chip, where you can't just see him once. You gotta just know a little bit more.
And he got mad at somebody during this process.
Yes. My poor father was chosen as the one to be the medicine man. And it was just, nobody wants to be in that position with the poke.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dad. They had their little recovery after that. They shared a bell pepper. So we were able to mediate the situation. But for a few weeks there, Tiptoe and my dad were not friends.
That's so sad. I bet your dad was devastated. I mean,
I know, he was so bummed. He was like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh my gosh. So what's something that you've learned about having a tortoise that surprised you?
I would say the best thing that I've learned about Tiptoe is honestly just the importance of slowing down, I would say. Okay. Where typically I feel like in my life, I'm very go, 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 like get a bunch of stuff done. But when you're recording videos of a tortoise or going on his schedule for anything, you are quite literally forced to stop and smell the roses. And that is something that I think that Tiptoe has done a better job at teaching me than I have done at teaching me throughout my life, because he's 175 pounds and sometimes he just ends up winning the schedule of the day. But those days that end up being the best days, because it ends up being so much more fun, so much more enjoyable. So that is my favorite lesson from Tiptoe.
Do you you get right up to him, let him like take food? I mean, are you like, do they attack are they just ravenous for food?
He's like pretty, I want to say slow, but I can basically like notice when he's going to come in, because he'll look at the food and if it's like my skin, he knows to not like go for me. Obviously, like when I have something in my mouth, I'm being a little bit too courageous with it. He's gotten close, but he knows to not go for hands and stuff. He'll sniff, he'll put his nose up, but he's pretty good at figuring out that not his thing.
Now, what about, do tortoises get lonely? I mean, like, dogs, something like my pug, I just, I'm getting him a friend, and like, does he care that does he just go off and do his own thing?
For the most part, he'll do things on his own, but definitely I've noticed that when people are around, like, he wants to be around you. He wants to hang out. And in the summer, especially if we have the windows in the house open and he can hear us, he will try to break in the house.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, he'll push his body up against the side, which is why we take him on his daily walks.
Right.
So we can get him some time to get out all of that energy, see the neighborhood. And then when he goes back in, he'll take his bath. He'll follow the rest of his routine.
It sounds funny. I'll take him out for his walk and get his energy going, or his energy out. Like, how much energy would you think a tortoise would have? But he has some, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a fun boy. He loves to motor around the yard, and he has so much fun back there.
Nice. That is so fun. I love Tiptoe. And the Christmas card you sent was amazing. I thought,
oh my gosh, wait, I love that you got that. Those were so much fun to do. We did a Christmas card, and then we did a Valentine's Day card too. And it was just so fun to see all the different places that those cards were going to. Mm-hmm. That was so eye-opening of like, dang, like that's really cool.
So now let's talk about, I know something that's near and dear to your heart. Let's talk about, you have a master's degree in
special education and behavior support.
Okay. And so you're talking about your big girl job before.
Yes, my big girl job. So when I went to the University of Arizona, I got my undergraduate in special education and rehab. And then once I graduated, I started working at a company providing one-to-one services for kids and adolescents with autism. We did it in school setting, home setting. And then it didn't take me long to want to also then get my master's in behavior support, just because it was the coolest job in the world. So I went back to do my master's and then ended up being a supervisor, doing all of that fun stuff. And the passion for that field is just, it's so cool to be able to be a part of helping kids learn and trying to figure out new ways for kids to learn, just because whether you're a kid or a teenager, adult, at any age, everybody learns differently. So I feel like that was something that was so fun to try to find, okay, how is this, student going to learn the best, or how can we make this the best possible option for everybody involved? And that's like my jam. It's my favorite thing to do. So I'm so lucky that I, was able to get my master's in that and follow in that field for so long, because it's so cool.
So do you see yourself doing that again in the near future?
I would love to find more ways to integrate the two things that I'm doing, because I'm so passionate about both of them. So hopefully in the future, there will be a lot of fun stuff coming up regarding the two, but that's where I gotta hang out and spend some more time with Tiptoe, slow down, write down some ideas, and see what we can come up with.
So what kind of inspiration did you get from the kids that you were helping?
I would say that I always like to connect it to the way that I feel with something. So I would say that the days that I left feeling the absolute best is when we would achieve something that was so tiny and that seemed like such a small goal. For example, we taught a kid how to open a door, which seems like such a small thing. And going into it, you're like, oh, it's a door, it's easy. But no, opening that door, let's throw a party. Let's call mom, dad, let's have the best time ever. And let's all celebrate, because that is a huge win. So learning that kind of mindset from working in that job and kind of carrying it over into my own life. When I treat myself like that too, and I am celebrating those small wins, the same way that I would celebrate for somebody else, trying to learn how to celebrate myself in that way too,
I know we take a lot of things for granted, like opening a door, tying our shoe, just basic things, and there's such huge victories for those kids. And
Huge.
have you had any experience with adults in autism, or did you just work with the kids?
I worked primarily with kids, but that's where I'm hoping in the future I would love to get more involved, because I know that that's an area where services end when you're 22.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where that's kind of, I would love to like be involved in more of those things too, because we should all be celebrating those little things.
Exactly. So what kind of things would an adult be experiencing, that kind of gets pushed over after the age of 22? So what is something that they would experience that you would like to try to bring to, bring out, for people to notice and, take notice and to help with action?
I think that something that is, it's a basic skill that a lot of people forget about for people in their 20s is communication. And I think that also with like COVID and everything, where we were all in our homes for so long, I can see that just communication skills are hard, and it's hard to like upkeep those in a lot of ways. So even as you guys were mentioning earlier with like video calls and stuff, I think that there are so many cool ways to help people increase their communication skills through, group meetings, whether it's online or in person or both. And, to kind of talking about some of these things, or kind of talking about like, what are the small goals that you have, and like, how is it going, and just create a more comfortable opportunity for those conversations to go around so that people can, congratulate each other on those little things.
We have a group, mastermind group that we created during COVID, and we had Fridays and we called it Crush and Brag Day, because even adults that are not autistic don't celebrate the wins, the little things, the big things.
Right.
And we made sure to do it every Friday. Okay, there's our friend Eric. He's wearing bedazzled pants. And he really is. And then he also agreed with you. He said, celebrate the little things, no doubt. And then his daughter, his little daughter, Ruby Doo, watches our show, and she gets real excited when we say hello to her. So will you say hello to Ruby Doo?
Hello, Ruby Doo.
Hey, Ruby Doo. Thank you for watching. So she's like ecstatic right now because she loves hearing her name when we're on the show. This is a new thing. I think we've done this like the last 3 shows. So
that's so fun.
So what is in Caitlin's future? Are you gonna? I know you have swag. They call it swag merch, right? You have Tiptoe merch, right? And
yes.
Like, do you see yourself maybe writing a book or having a podcast, or what do you see down the line?
I would definitely, I'm a big talker. I love to talk. That is like sometimes I call it my talking, or sometimes it's like my verbal diarrhea of just like so much information. So I definitely think that that's like having a podcast would be something that would be so fun to just like talk to friends on it, have like different kinds of conversations, and just talk about the little things. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know, love that. I also really was interested in getting into writing some children's books. Oh, that is definitely like big area of interest, just because there are so many fun stories to tell, and stories for kids that are so helpful. And I think that like for me, Tiptoe has been so helpful. So I am excited about being able to kind of use Tiptoe in my story to help other people learn like those little things and celebrate and have all the fun.
Oh, he would be a great illustration.
So funny, right? Like,
yeah. For a turtle, he has a personality. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah. He can go from sassy, sweet, cute to stubborn, like naughty, so quickly.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I love it.
Tiptoe has a big snack coming. He has watermelon, strawberries, and red leaf lettuce. I like to cut the watermelon into smaller pieces so I can put them all around the backyard so I can force Tiptoe to exercise. Then I added my strawberries and lettuce to the plate. And when I came over, he clearly knew I was making him food because he was trying to break out of his house. So I brought the food to the other side of the yard so he would have to come over.
Oh, there he comes.
I think he was surprised to see watermelon because he was hauling.
That's fast for
I gave him a few pieces of watermelon to just celebrate summer, celebrate the morning first, and then I started putting them around the yard. We ended up also taking a few pit stops to eat some of the lettuce. As you can see, Tiptoe one leg up. And then I was making him do some struts to get some berries. The pavement outside is a little bit too hot for Tiptoe today, so we're getting our exercise in the backyard. Once Tiptoe decided that he was over this game that we were playing, he went back to his little pile of watermelon and got to chowing. Love you, T.
So how many followers do you have?
I think we're at almost 4.3 million, which is so cool, so exciting.
So when did you first notice people were like, oh, I really like this. I need to, follow this. And like, did it happen overnight or was it just kind of a gradually building thing?
The first video that I posted, that it was almost like instant, where I posted it and within like an hour, it was up at a couple 100,000 views. So it was so quick, where I posted the first video and I was like, okay, I could post another one of these. Like, so I just had such a fun, very quick introduction into TikTok, and it's been such a good learning experience because it's so fun.
It is fun, and it's fun to watch, and I don't have fun making the videos.
He loves his fruits and veggies, but some of his favorites are carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. I gave them a quick wash and chopped them up for him. It definitely doesn't need to be chopped, but he's a prince and he always gets the best. Once I put his food down, he moseys on over and I take the plate back because he's going to try to eat it. It won't take him long to get through all of this food, but this will be his big meal for the day.
Was that the first one?
I think that was, yeah.
Yeah, because your voice sounds different too.
So different. Isn't that so funny how like those little things change too?
Yeah.
When you like watch something back where it's like 2 years ago, you're like, that's so cool. I've grown up.
So your plan is to use your TikTok fame to make aware, certain autism things, certain aspects of autism. And I mean, I think that's great. I mean, that you have that power, that you have that many followers, you can reach that many people to really take care of a good cause. I think that's so wonderful.
The power of social media is, I don't know, social media is just, it's such a cool platform just for people to be talking about these kinds of things, especially the younger generations. I feel like it's been such a cool experience to see how many people are also so passion filled about their communities, and seeing them like come together on social media makes it so rewarding and so much more exciting to like get involved with other people too, and see where people's passions lie and just work together.
Now, your parents, were they social media savvy, or did this just happen because of you?
The least social media.
Parents usually are, by the way.
Yeah, my mom is the sweetest mom, and she helps me with a lot of my videos. But we are always like, we're learning together.
That's funny.
All the angles, all the fun stuff, and yeah, my dad, he is not tech savvy in that way either. So it's been very fun just learning. I get help from my younger cousins sometimes who are in high school, and they are so fast on the phone, and they know all the fun like new buttons you can push and the new trends and all that fun stuff.
So what would you say to somebody starting out that wanted to, blow up and for a cause, that they want to become well known so that they can promote their cause? What would be some advice that you'd have for them?
I think that one of the most important things when you're posting something is to show your passion. And I know that can be like very different for other people. Like sometimes you can tell somebody's passionate by the way they speak, or you can tell someone is passionate about something maybe by what clothes they're wearing, if it's like representing their cause well. So I feel like when you're going to be, posting something, just show your heart through it too. Mm-hmm. Some people like find more confidence in using their words, but a lot of people find more confidence in like something like artwork or something of that sort. So kind of find where like your passion lies, and just if it makes your heart happy and you are talking about it in that way, I feel like that's when people are able to view it and like they can feel that. They can hear when you're passionate about something.
Totally. I get that totally. So the merch, you want to talk about your TikTok merch or your Tiptoe merch?
I am looking at a pile of it right now. I made a merch plan with my cousin Kellen because since summer's coming up, I was like, that's such a great way to get us to work together and to like make something beautiful. So we got the machine, the embroidery machine.
Oh,
it's
great.
amazing. We got the shirts, but turns out there are so many things that you got to do to get all of that to work well. So I have all this really cool stuff, and I'm in the process of like figuring out exactly how to do it on the shirts, but we want to make them customizable where instead of it just saying like Caitlin and Tiptoe, you would be able to get an embroidered shirt that says like, you know, James and Tiptoe or whoever it is.
Oh, I love it.
With them, just because we got the coolest machine. So we're trying to figure out how to do that. But I'm hoping that within the next few weeks, we will have a successful shirt done and on the website.
Well, I definitely want one.
Oh, yeah, I'll put you first on the list.
Thank you. So is there anything else that you wanted to talk about regarding your, you know, your big girl job or anything that you want to share about Tiptoe that we haven't talked about?
I would probably say that I'll maybe some of the things that I've learned from Tiptoe that I'm going into the summer with.
Perfect.
Because just coming out of lots of work going into summer, I feel like that's always a transition where everyone's like, oh, like we have some more free time, some have less free time, whatever it may be. But again, Tiptoe's reminder to me always is to just take care of yourself, your body, take care of what you're eating, what you're doing, slow down, smell the roses, and enjoy all of the little things, because once you take all of those little things and you put them all together in your purse, you have a whole bag of little things, which is a lot. You have a lot of good things in there. So I always try to keep that mindset, which is very simple, but just little.
It's so important. It's little, but it's important.
Very.
Okay, so this is the part of the show where I have to ask you a question. I forgot to warn you about this, but it'll be fine. So Bruce, do your thing. So it is a tradition on the show. It started 2 years ago. I think the very first show we did, we're not even sure why we brought it up, but we ask you, what is your moisturizer of choice?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. My moisturizer of choice, I love the brand Elta MD. I used their sunscreen before, and I just got their like normal face moisturizer, and I feel like it makes my skin like silk.
Ooh,
just
nice.
So nice. If you haven't used it, highly recommend it.
Okay, what is it called again?
Elta MD.
ELTA
MD. It's supposed to be super good for your skin, and I honestly just listened to so many of my other friends recommend it that I was like, yeah, that sounds good.
We've had some crazy answer. We've had people use like coconut oil. That's not really crazy, but lard. Lard. Yes.
Ooh, interesting.
Right. Yeah. So, and then Michelle and I, we could probably list about 15 different things that people have told us, but this we will, we'll have to check that out, and we'll have to get back to you and report to you on that.
I'll have to check out the lard.
See, I don't know, just go. Right. So I want to thank. Is there anything else that you want to like say to everybody before we part? I want to thank you so much for being here. We had to reschedule 3 times, and so I appreciate you working with us. And we're sorry Tiptoe couldn't be with us today because your dad's getting over COVID. So I hope he's feeling better and he's getting stronger every day.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been so much fun. I'm very new to doing like this type of call, so this is so cool.
So cool. We're so glad that you were able to be with us today. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. And those of you that are watching on the replay, please remember to let me know that you're watching. Let us know you're watching on the replay, and let us know where you're watching from, because that's always fun to check out too. Thank you to our sponsors, Blue Sky Video Productions. Bruce Himmelblau, thank you for all you've done these past few seasons. And this is our last show of the season, so we will be back in October. So be looking forward to that. And of course, thank you, Cards That Wow. That's me. I create wow moments for people and brands, and I do that by making handmade note cards. And I also have a corporate gifting portion to my business. So thanks everybody for a great season 2. Thank you, Caitlin, for being here. And thanks for everything, Bruce. You're awesome. And we will see you guys in October.